Today is day 134 of my semen retention streak. Still no relapses. I'm still going strong. I'm still doing it. If you keep up with my updates on my semen retention streak, you will notice I missed a video yesterday. I didn't make a video for day 133. And I'll be honest, it's because yesterday I was exhausted. I just didn't really have much energy to give, let alone to my work, my business company, stuff like that, and then, to YouTube as well. So I said, screw it, taking a day for me. And that's going to be the point of this video, though, guys, is I want to my neighbors, I can hear somebody talking. I'm going to give you a peek behind the curtain, right? I'm always about being transparent and authentic about my experience on this journey, on this channel. And yes, there's going to be good days, right? Guys, there's great streaks, there's highs, there's incredible things that this practice is doing for you. But there are still lows. There is still shit that has to be worked out of the body, and it's not fun. And so in the last few days, I stumbled upon a holistic doctor here in Franklin, Tennessee. I don't live in Franklin, but he has a practice out here. His name's Dr. Motley. I've been watching all of his YouTube content, and fantastic guy. He does more like Chinese medicine, herbal medicine. Like his whole message is where Eastern medicine meets Western medicine, and he kind of combines the two. And what he was talking about in some of his videos made so much sense. So I've been focused heavily. I'm using some new supplements on really working on my liver, my gallbladder, my spleen, my bladder, my kidneys, and just organs that have absolutely been taxed and need a little bit more care. And I use kinesiology, muscle testing on myself to be able to tell, which ones need it and where my body's at. That can be literally a whole nother video, guys, to get into that. But basically, your subconscious mind governs your muscular skeletal system of the body. And because of that, you can use the muscles in your body to interact and ask your body questions like a computer program, and it'll give you the answer. It'll analyze your body and tell you what you need, what you don't need. It might be the most powerful tool that I have learned in the past 2 years. It's a superpower. I have a superpower. You can have it too if you learn it. That's not even the point of this. That's not the point of this message. The point is, what I'm learning is I'm taking these supplements to support my liver and gallbladder. I'm realizing I'm working through a lot of emotions, a lot of anger, a lot of resentment and frustration. And even with the kidneys, as I'm taking the kidneys hold fear, and I found that I have been working out fear, and you have to, this fear has come in, and I've had to take a day or two and just sit with it, and kind of impacted my sleep the last 2 days, so it was a little bit lower energy. And the point of this that I really want to talk and that I want to speak into is this reminder, guys, that just because you're feeling so good for a long time on this semen retention streak, and then you hit what feels like a wall, and now you're suddenly not feeling good, and all these emotions are coming up, and you feel out of control, and you're so angry, and you're in a fearful state, and your nervous system feels off. That doesn't mean you broke semen retention. That doesn't mean it's not working anymore. In fact, it usually means it's working at a rate or a depth that is actually better. Because you're starting to have to feel the stuff, let the stuff out. These emotions, guys, the same way they came in, they have to come out. If you were in a fear state when they came in and you didn't release them and you numbed them, pushed them down, you have to feel the fear again to release it. The same goes with anger, sadness in the lungs, like grief. These organs, they're not just functioning physically, guys. They function on an emotional level. They're storing the emotions that you don't release. And I'm leaning more into working through that. Bought a book that I'm going to read on it and like really leaning into this. But one of the beautiful things too is as you support that organ with the right herbs and the right remedies, it can also make it easier to then release the emotions as it is purging and detoxifying and releasing everything. And the two can kind of go hand in hand, right? It's possible for an overburdened liver to also hold on to anger more. Or it's possible for a liver, somebody that's holding on to anger more, to overburden their liver, right? These things go hand in hand. So you kind of need to look at them at the same time, right? You're doing multiple things at once at a physical level and an emotional level. And guys, last night, I was just like, my nervous system was all over the place. It was not pleasant at all. Didn't make a video, which is, unusual for me. I'm usually pretty consistent on here. And I was, guys, I'll be honest, like, urges were coming. It was late at night. I couldn't sleep. I hopped on in one of my communities to read a little bit about some investment stuff, and a link takes me to X, right, to read an article. But then what's the next video that starts popping up, guys? Super sexual content from X, right, as I'm swiping. It's like increasingly getting more and more and more graphic. And keep in mind, like, I'm on day 134 on this streak. Like, I have done crazy well staying away from that stuff. And guys, like, having that in your face again, I kid you not, it's like a shock factor. It's like the first time seeing something like that is like, it's a shock to your system. And I was almost like, holy crap. And totally honest, like, for a few minutes, like, scroll, and then another one, and then another one, and another one. And you, like, I could feel what it was doing to my energy field. Like, my energy was like trying to suck me in. And it was wild. And the reason that I'm bringing this up is because I have had tons of men reaching out in the comments asking about how the heck have you made it on 134 days of not releasing your sexual energy, of holding this energy in. And guys, at one of the lowest points last night, like, the urge, the desire to release was so freaking high, right? And I swear to God that these freaking apps know and they can sense when to give you what they're giving you, like when to hit you with this stuff. I know that they can sense it. And that's why if you just don't go on them, if you don't go on apps, on the social media apps and everything, like, they can't get to you. Even with the ads that they give you, and like, it's ridiculous. Like, the amount of sex pills ads that I have gotten watching semen retention videos on other guys' channels, like, it's literally crazy. But then to get hit with all this content back to back to back to back on a day that I'm like feeling at my weakest with all the emotional work that I'm doing, everything, that my willpower feels lower, it's crazy. But I'm sharing this, I'm being open with you all about this, transparent, because you ask, okay, how did you make it through it, Jason? How did you not release? How did you sit with all that inner tension and turmoil and work through that? And here's the secret. I went down. So I've got my bed, but I have a grounding mat where I do my meditation. I went and sat down on my mat so that my skin is touching the mat, so that I'm grounding as I meditate. Look into grounding mats. They're a beautiful thing. It's like having your feet in the grass. I sat down on that thing, and guys, I meditated, prayed for 30, 45 minutes. And that was how I got through it. I did Dr. Joe meditation, put my earbuds in, and just disappeared from this personality, this version of me. Because again, when you're meditating, you're losing your ego for a while. It's not that you're like separating yourself or inviting yourself in. You're just forgetting about it, because most of it is through your eyes that are perceiving everything. And just start being aware of the programs and the thoughts and everything that's running through my mind. And it literally just turned into like 30 to 45 minutes of prayer, talking to God, asking God for help, Jesus for help, angel, my angel team, my spirit team, like speaking affirmations over myself, releasing the energy, like really, really getting my intentions locked back in. Like I don't know why today was like it was today, but my intention hasn't changed. I am still holding this energy for at least a year. That is my goal. That's my desire right now. I want to see what happens. And guys, I felt so much better after that. It made the night bearable. And then I went to bed. And you know what's funny? The dream that I had, because I had dreams and some of them were sexual, like, yes, there weren't everything, but in the dreams, guys, the plot was that I was on semen retention. Like, I was telling the women in my dreams, like I made moves in my dream like I would make today in this reality. Like, no, I'm on semen retention. I'm holding my energy. I'm not giving it up. And yeah, it just, I just wouldn't give it up in the dreams. Like, it wasn't even close. This is just like an enjoyable dream. And that was just part of my identity in that dream state. And I know it's because I've set my intentions and made my intentions so clear, especially when in a meditative state, when I have brain and heart coherence and I'm less in my head about the thoughts for the day and everything that's going on and all the right? Today was an awful day, right? All this thoughts about how I didn't show up how I wanted to, or I didn't accomplish what I wanted to because today was such a tough day. But guys, guess what? During that day, I'm willing to bet I made more healing than I have on the days where I probably feel better, right? Because I'm working through those emotions. I'm working through that stuck energy that clearly needs to come out. The fear, the worry, the doubt, the anger, the anger. So much freaking anger. It is wild. I'm sure there are men out there that are experiencing this too. Are you experiencing this as well? This is something Rin always talks about with like the anger that he's dealing with on his streak. I get it. The experiences, things of the past, like funny enough, 2 people were sending me texts this week that I have experiences with anger associated with, and just interesting timing on that as well. Like, what's that about, So you get on 134 days now, it's like, okay, why are people reaching out saying that they're thinking about me, It's like, interesting. So if you're going through experiences, you're getting days like the ones that I just described, where they're low energy, guys. They're difficult. They're trying to, the amount of internal emotional pressure that you have to sit with and deal with, it feels like it's going to break you. If you're getting to that point and you're having those, I cannot stress the value of prayer, of meditation, of fasting, and doing it all with intention, with approaching it like, hey, God, my creator, universe, whatever your connection is with your creator, okay? Use whatever word makes sense for you. I need help, you know? Today's a really rough day. I need some help. I need a little something. And approaching it from gratitude as if it's already done. That's been the key for me. Thank you for helping me through this. Thank you for giving me strength to move through this. Thank you that, you know, I can cast this burden on the Christ within and go free now. Thank you for this. Thank you. Whatever you need to do. I know a lot of you are into Jesus. A lot of you are not into Jesus, but I'm telling you, there is power in the name of Jesus. And I have been having some wild experiences, you know, at these moments, getting back to a heart center of repentance and, you know, asking Jesus to cover it with his blood. And it is wild the impact that it has immediately. You know, it's significant, and that is a whole nother road that I can go down some of these books that I'm reading. And like, guys, life is crazier and more wild than we are taught to believe. We're literally living in like the Star Wars movies and all these movies that are portrayed in Hollywood that we think, oh, that was fun. Where'd they think of that? They didn't think of it. They're just copying reality the way the life is right now, and it's crazy. So am I going to slow down with my, you know, supplement regimen protocol or whatever? It's like maybe I took a few too many of them and like really started this purging process faster. Maybe I could slow down a little bit there. Yeah, but am I going to stop my semen retention streak? No, absolutely not. I know there's a lot of men that have talked about this idea of like, man, life is just like getting so difficult on this, the way people react or these emotions coming up. Like sometimes I just want to release so that I don't have to deal with it. I can go back to being a normal gooner that doesn't have to deal with any of this stuff. It's like, yeah, you would go back to that. Yeah, can you imagine? I was watching, I think it was Rin's last video, him walking around, but he was talking about like, he's usually 32 days ahead of me on his streak. And talking about how, it's like, can you imagine giving up this amount of energy right now, going from 164 days to 0? Giving it to some chick you don't care about or a screen board, whatever. It's like, I'm in the same boat, guys. In a last video, I was talking about how this concept of not looking at streaks linearly, but as like vertically, like a tower, like we're building a tower. And you have to start deep with a foundation to be able to build up and all that stuff. But I was like, dude, right now, like releasing it would feel like the equivalent of jumping off the 134th floor of my tower that I have built on this semen retention streak. It would just be suicide. It feels like, dude, why the amount of life force and energy that I have packed up and built up. It's like, and here's the thing too, Bogdan talks about this as well, but I know for a fact that this energy, it is protecting me, it is protecting my company, it is protecting the people that work for me, it is protecting my family, those that I love, it's looking out for my community. It is literally, this energy, guys, is creating an infinitely better reality for myself. 1,000%. You can't tell me it's not. There's no way. I don't believe it. Why would I give all that up for a short pleasure that I've already experienced over and over and over? Yeah, guess what? I like sex, of course. I've been down that road. Websites, all just releasing the energy, whatever. I've already done that stuff. You've already done that stuff. Have you taken a year to pour all that energy and life force into you and see what happens into your life? Probably not. That's probably a new thing, a new adventure. I'm just convinced that holding on to this energy is literally protecting me, protecting those in my life. Why would I give that up? Especially on 134 days. There was another point that I was going to make about that too, but I kind of got on a tangent there. Once you get this far in the journey, guys, I'm telling you, your perspective changes. I wasn't thinking like this and necessarily talking like this from the very start, especially on other streaks. And I didn't just get here. I didn't just hop on my first streak and make it 134 days. This took me like 2 years to get here. I had a lot of shorter streaks leading up to this point where I was building the muscle, but I didn't have all the information. I didn't have the pieces to put the full puzzle together yet. But on this one, I did. And I still do. And I know why I'm doing it. I know the value of it physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. I know the value of the energy and what this does, who I'm showing up as, what it does for my aura, my magnetic field, like who I'm able to show up as now. The experiences, the people that it's joining in my life, like I know the value of it now. So if you're struggling to get on a streak like this, guys, and keep it going, you might not know the value of what you hold. You might not know the value of what this is doing to your body and to your life. And you probably aren't aware enough to be looking for the signs and the signals right now, because some of them are subtle, especially this far into the streak. They're subtle signals. They're subtle signs. You have to be aware of them. You have to be looking for them. Yeah. It's a roller coaster. There's ups and downs. You just got to accept that. That's life. Don't get too high with the highs. Don't get too low with the lows. And when it really feels like you're scraping a new rock bottom, meditate, pray, fast, get your mind right, get your energy right, give yourself some grace, give yourself some love, because you are doing arguably the hardest thing that 0.01% of men in this planet existence are willing to do and put themselves through to become a better version of yourself. Right? You're essentially becoming a spiritual celebrity here. Pretty cool, yeah? Especially considering the external always reflects the internal. And as we change our internal state, guys, the external has to change. We're at a different frequency, a more abundant, more opportunistic frequency. Your life will change. Things will fall out. People will fall out. Things will fall in. People will fall in. That's the point of it. It's okay. Man, I felt like there was one more thing that I really wanted to say there about the whole concept of, this energy is protective. This energy is looking out for me. I'm telling you, I'm more convinced than ever that life is a one-player game. And what do I mean by that? I mean, your external reflects your internal. Everybody outside of you is reflecting who you are, who you're being. I was listening to a video from Dr. Motley where he was talking about how, isn't it interesting he dealt with Lyme's disease, and healed it. And now he seems to attract patients that are also dealing with that. And it's not even that he's marketing it per se. It's just that there is like a resonant frequency that is still remaining from that in his field. And it thus attracts other people dealing with that, right? Like frequencies attracting. Isn't that interesting? He was giving a bunch of examples, and to me, it makes a lot of sense. It's like a tuning fork. Like you're tuned to a certain frequency, and thus that frequency that you're humming at and tuning at can be sent out, and people with that same one also are like drawn in. And it just makes me think about this semen retention journey. You are tuning your field to a different frequency, a higher frequency, guys. And yes, the BS frequencies that you have been humming to your whole life, the field that you have built up, the baggage that you've held on to, it will fall away. You're raising a frequency, that stuff has to fall away, and it isn't pleasant. And you'll get a day or two or a few, like what I just talked about, where it's a really rough day emotionally, and you feel like life is falling apart. Yeah, it kind of is. It's kind of falling apart energetically. That's the point, because that energy cannot stay. It cannot exist. And as your energy morphs and becomes a higher frequency, a cleaner frequency, you are now going to attract people, things, experiences at that better frequency now, and your life continues to level up. It continues to improve. Your health continues to improve. Your wealth continues to improve. All of this stuff. So be excited when you go through the rough days, the hard days, the difficulties, because usually that means you're being upgraded, your nervous system's being upgraded, and your energy field is being upgraded. And what is no longer serving you is starting to fall away, and it feels shitty in the process. It doesn't feel like winning in the process, but it is. You're winning. Hope you got some value out of this. This is a longer video. Let me know what day you're on if you made it this far, guys. Let me know what day you're on your journey, if this resonated with you guys. Hopefully you got more value out of it than the time that you invested in watching this. And yeah, if you aren't yet, like, follow, subscribe. Stick around for more, guys. Lots of good stuff on this channel. Peace, love, abundance to you all. I'll see you later.